Once again, what's up, guys? It's your King Knife, Vincent Valentine EX Turk, and I go to work at 3 o'clock this time in the afternoon to start my new position because I upgraded. But besides upgrading new positions and stuff like that, let's get back into the serious theories. I know I did the joke theory that people probably didn't like, and people thought I was a troll and stuff like that. You know, but back into the serious theories again. So I'm coming back with some new material right here that you see, and yes, it's going to be another Vincent Valentine fan theory, mostly Final Fantasy VII fan theory. Now, I know job class systems don't exist in the newer games like 7, 8, and so forth, but if the job class but Final Fantasy's always had job class systems. They just haven't labeled them. As if you can remember in Final Fantasy 15, the Orban Brights in Final Fantasy 15 were actually Red Mages. They just didn't call them Red Mages. They call them Orban Bright. It's a clan of people. Now, in Final Fantasy universes, all this stuff is different than, all this stuff is different than the other continuity of Final Fantasies. Like, they're different things, just like it is with everything else. But nonetheless, in Final Fantasy games, class systems were labeled different. But if Final Fantasy VII had a class system that was directly class system, my theory is Vincent Valentine would be a Red Mage. And let's look at the signature things. In Final Fantasy games are color-coded. As if you look at the covers of each Final Fantasy games, even the spin-off games, look at the cover of Dirge of Cerberus. And don't tell me you don't see a guy wearing a red collar thing with long black hair named Vincent Valentine with flames in the background. Now, I know, but this is not about an element. But they use elements in every little thing. Now, don't pay attention to the fire. Pay attention to the color of the fire of the Dirge of Cerberus game cover. What do you see? The theme is red. The theme is red. And if anyone play classic Final Fantasy games through the NES to Super NES, Red Mages were the only clan members that were red. As Black Mages were, blackface, blue robes, and the pointy hat. Well, sometimes. But they switched continuities in Final Fantasy games, because they changed that in 14. As you see, the Black Mages it was actually a man. Now, Red Mages specialize in magic. The reason why I want to bring this up, and the reason why I have this clip right here, Vincent's best talent is not his attack. His attack is the same as Cloud. And that's just his basic attack. And he's a long-range character. Which I think the only reason they give him guns in the first place is to change up the formula because there's too many swords and too many other stuff. And there's already a gun arm, so they want to actually, he was supposed to get a Reaper sight, but they changed it, which I understand, to change up the formula. That's why they gave Vincent a gun. But his basic attack is just as strong as Cloud's basic attack. And his defense is not really good. His speed is excellent. But the reason why his speed is excellent, his defense is low, and his attack is average, is here's a shocking thing. In Final Fantasy VII, Vincent mostly focuses on magic. Notice his MP is higher than Cloud, Tifa, Barret, and everybody else in your party. Not just to mention his limit break transformations. His limit break transformations are very impressive. And in Dirge of Cerberus, they went back to the gun stuff and made the gun stronger, which obviously, the only way you can play a Vincent Valentine themed game is use a gun. So if you're into, COD and Metal Gear and Devil May Cry all at once, then you'd like Dirge of Cerberus. But that's not here and there. We're talking about why I think Vincent Valentine is a Red Mage. Now, in Final Fantasy 15, they named him Orban Brights. Well, there's no name for Final Fantasy 7 stuff. But if you look at Vincent's magic meter, it's higher than his attack. is higher than his defense. And red mages do all kinds of magic, just like white mages do healing. Black mages do black magic like thunder and thunder, fire, and elemental type spells. Red mages do both, a combination of both, as well as support stuff, such as bio, slow, all that stuff. Now keep in mind this is very important. Keep in mind this is very important to talk about because this is a good subject right here. Well, I think Vincent Valentine is a red mage, and this is not a troll theory. He wears red. The cover of Dirge Cerberus is red and has significance to the color red because the color red has a huge place in Final Fantasy. Not just the color red, but any color in general. Final Fantasy games are more color-coded. Look at every single case, even spin-off games, even games that aren't really part of the series, but they're just franchising markers. Each game cover has a color to it. And it has some of the themes of the game. Vincent wears red, even though that's his father's black jacket that he just re-dyed. And it's not that red's Vincent Valentine's favorite color, but Vincent was designed with red eyes, long black hair, and this is the final design. This is not the original design. Red cloak. I know originally he was designed to be Sephiroth's father, but plans got changed, of course, in the final concept. That's why he had silver hair in the concept art. But at the final art, he has red jacket or red cape, whatever you want to call it, with long black hair, red eyes. And he's good with magic. His talent in the original Final Fantasy VII was magic. All kinds of magic, especially support magic, like silence, slow, and stuff like that. But he could use Ultima, can use fire and all that stuff. Now, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? He's good with magic. He wears red. He has red eyes. And those were purposely designed. And if you remember Final Fantasy lore, you would know that the color red for any character would be a red mage. As in Final Fantasy 15, only the Orban Brights wore red something. Just like I did in my Aranea video, or when I watch Final Fantasy Peasants Aranea and Crow Atlas videos. Now, but this is not a different thing because they're labeled different things. Okay? They're labeled different things. But if Final Fantasy VII had class systems, Cloud would be a warrior, Tifa would be a brawler. Yuki would be a thief. Vincent would be a red mage. Eris would be a white mage. Even though she don't wear the colors, she has the skills of white mage. Now, color doesn't mean everything. Skills do, but look at Vincent's skills. His defense is low, his attack is average. And his magic usage is really high. His MP is the highest, even higher than Sephiroth in the flashbacks. Now, if he has that much talent in magic and he's wearing red, he is a red mage. It is confirmed. So tell me what you think about this theory. And again, this is only a fan theory. Square Enix didn't say anything, so I'm going to let you. This is back to my serious theories. So, tell me what you think.